there are too much light probably that hits his eyes. I don't know. But in the car, he is reading the Bible at home, and we are discussing. We are going through the book of John, and he is praying to God now, and he is starting to go to church now. Some people are more comfortable to hear the gospel in this position. Well, so what can we do? We just so we just go and share the gospel whatever they are comfortable. Well, you know, if you will take him to the church, he can't just sit here. He has to do something, you know. But there, he is not hurrying anymore, anywhere. He already tired. He's already exhausted, and after building some relationships with them, spending some time there, God is opening youth in their hearts to hear the gospel. Or I like to do rock climbing, and we have some rocks in Ukraine, and we are taking some trips to different places with unbeliever groups. This is like unbelievers, and I was with them. This down is actually it's on the border, Russia and Georgia, in Caucasus Mountains. And top one on the right is in Crimea, Ukraine. And, you know, I hardly can find other circumstances how you can build relationships like with people and become really like trust in relationships. Probably when you are fighting in the war, like World War II, that was also like when people are really becoming friends for the rest of the life, if you survive. And this is one of that I really like to build relationships with people, because you are trusting each other. If you are not trusting, you can't go with him, you know, and you just have to trust. And if he is trusting you, you can share, you can open your heart about God, about gospel, and God is working in their lives. We are doing different youth trips, like water rafting also, and then we are sharing gospel with people, doing different youth camps in different parts of Ukraine. Okay, next one. And God is, you know, doing interesting and amazing things. I just love to see what God is doing there. Like what you see here on these pictures is all different ethnic groups that usually they're not comfortable to go to the church. Like these are drug addicts. A person on the left, he is my childhood friend that I started to use drugs when I was 14 years old in 1994. And when I get saved, he was mocking and laughing and saying, "You are crazy." And I just said, okay, I will pray for you, because God created you not for this type of life. And he just was refusing. But, you know, we are looking, when we are sharing the gospel, we are looking for open hearts. So I was praying that God will open his heart. And then once a while I'm testing people once a while. You know, if somebody is close to God, doesn't want to hear about God, okay, I'm just leaving him alone and just praying if God puts him on my heart. And then once a while I'm testing him. And this person actually, 2 years later, I noticed that he starts to be more warm to me, not as he was right away when he heard about me. And then later he was more open to hear about God. And then one time I was driving and I just saw him on the bus stop. And he has alcohol epilepsy. He was shaking at that moment and kind of dying. And I took him to the hospital. And then later he just said, "Well, you saved my life. Tell me about God. I want to hear that. These drugs, this alcohol are not fun anymore for me. I want to get out of here, and I know that you get out of this and tell me." And this is one time I was going through and I met them again, and they had a New Year's party. This is a New Year's party they have. New Year's party is the biggest holiday in Ukraine. So they have a table, they have some food. Outside it's minus 30 on Celsius. So they are kind of in some place where there are no heating system, but it's warmer. And they're not drunk yet. They will be later. But at this time, I saw them, and I spent some time with them. And they were asking serious questions about God, and I was telling, and they were listening. And I just was so surprised how God is opening their heart. And they want to know more about God. But you can't take them to church. I mean, you can, and I tried. But he, on the left, he was able to sit in the church for 10 minutes, and then he just ran away. And he just says, I can't. But every morning, 8 a.m., a half of his day, he is able to spend on the bus stop, just sitting on that bench. And in the morning, they are not drunk, they are not under drugs yet. So at that time, they are opening to hear, to talk about life, important questions. So when I'm going through that place, I'm always stopping. And when I'm not going through, they are asking me. Like I hear through other people, they say, Andrew was asking when you will come and talk. They have some questions about God, they want to talk more. So I'm just, if you're comfortable here to hear about God, I'm just going there and I'm just doing where you are comfortable, and then I see how God is changing and doing different works in his life. Well, I can't do all that by myself, so this is why we are training people to share the gospel. And this training program is made that any person can share the gospel who knew the Lord. Or if you don't know the Lord, you are going through this program and you are getting to know him. Or you are saying no. Well, some people can refuse to be saved. But this training program is really helpful. I didn't know that it will be such a big help, but I was surprised because it makes people to grow spiritually. And then I was analyzing my life, and I just thought, well, my spiritual growing was completely connected with my witnessing to other people about God. Without that, if I share gospel more with people, I feel how I want to know more God, want to learn more about him, want to be more thankful to him. But if I slow down my witnessing, and it was kind of connected. So, and I see how sharing the gospel and teaching people in the church to do that, it really helps church people to wake up, to go, to move. And it's amazing. So many different stories and testimonies I can see. Like one woman, she get to this evangelism program with one desire. For many years, she knew one lady, old lady, and she really wanted to share the gospel with her. And I noticed that in the church that many people, they don't share the gospel. They don't know how, they don't know what to say. What if they will be asked something that they don't know what to answer? So we are handling these issues and showing what you can tell. If you don't know what to say, just say, I don't know. But say, well, but I know how to get to heaven. Would you like to hear about that? And that's the most important question. People, so this woman, she went through this program because Lord was putting on her heart to share the gospel with that old lady for many years, and she was not able, being a church, good person, Christian, she was not able to do that. So she went through this program, and she learned that, and she was keeping praying. And actually, like yesterday, I think, or the day before yesterday, I heard that finally she got to witness to her, to that old lady. And she said she was so happy that she did that. They were praying together, they were crying together, they were hugging, and